Hello everyone, how are you? It's Riss. I have my bookshelf set up, so fun. So I am going to be doing the end of the year book tag. This I'm taking Destiny Sidwell's list of questions. There's about 22, so let's get into it. So the first question is the most disappointing read of the year. I have two. The first one is Iron Flame, and I did a video flaming it earlier this month. I really didn't like it. And then the other one was Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a book club pick for me and a few girls from where I live. And it's not one that I would have necessarily picked, but I was really excited because of that. And I've liked Taylor Jenkins Reid, like Daisy Jones and the Six. I love Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo so much. But I don't know, there was just something I mean, I know why I didn't like it. It was just a little too repetitive, but I wish it was good because the plot is pretty cute. So the next one is the Underdog book of the year. It's kind of a hard question. I feel like I'm looking at my Goodreads right now. I feel like it might be Minx by Sophie Lark. I was kind of unsure about Minx by Sophie Lark because it goes into a weird kink that I really don't know much about. It's he kind of dresses her up as a cat. So I went into it kind of not thinking I would I mean, I knew I was gonna like it because I love Sophie Lark a lot, but I just thought that that might be a little bit too different. But I ended up actually really liking it, so I don't know what that says about me. Number 3 is a book that was overhyped. Honestly, I feel like I'll have to go with Iron Flame. I feel like though it did kind of get not the best reviews, not the best reactions, but I feel like I see more positive than negative, so I'd say Iron Flame. My favorite book couples of the year! What a cute question. I love Johnny and Shannon from The Boys of Tommen, the first two, Binding 13 and Keeping 13. Those are my children. I love them so much, and I cannot wait for the next ones to be re-released with the new covers. I love Johnny and Shannon! Oh, they're so good! And then my next favorite couple is the Reverse Harem and Pucking Around. Pucking Around, I think, is my book of the year. They're just perfect. The way they all love each other in such an amazing way, they have to be my favorite couple. Almost ever, but definitely of the year. And then I'd have to say, Blakely and Riot from The Ritual. That was a new book that I read kind of recently, and I'm obsessed. I can't wait to buy the other 3 in the series. But yeah, I just thought that they were a really cool couple. I really thought they complemented each other, and I just loved how in tune they were with each other, from the very beginning. I thought that was a really strong couple. And the next is favorite main characters of the year. The way that I perceive this question is favorite female main characters. I liked Harriet from Happy Place. I thought that she was so beautiful, and I just really resonated with her character. Oh, another couple I really liked was Lennon and Phoenix from The Words. The Words was so good. And then another favorite main character I really liked was Tess from Pucking Wild. I admired her confidence, and I just thought that she was really cool and really down to earth, and her character was also so real, which I think is really important. A book that surprised you. I was honestly surprised with how much I loved Trick Shot. It is a tiny Christmas novella, and I just finished it last night. I finished it in one sitting. That was so good. I'm definitely gonna go and buy the entire backlist from the author because it was so freaking good. A fave new author that you discovered in 2023. Honestly, Emily Rath, because I didn't know her books before this year, and Pucking Around literally just changed my life. It was so good. So I definitely want to get into her Regency ? Is that what it's called? Regency romance, because I just love her writing. I think that it's so good. And I can't believe I only discovered her this year. The happiest read of the year. I don't really read a lot of happy books. Let me think. Oh, I know. I think it would be Double Pucked. Double Pucked was just so fun. It was a fun, light, male-female-male romance, and it was just happy. There wasn't that much like deep stuff in it. It was just happy and it wasn't trying to be anything it wasn't. Most frustrating book I read in 2023. I read the first 3 of the Addicted series, and those are really hard to read just because of the content with addiction. But obviously it's called Addicted series. But I think that those were really frustrating just because I have such a personal like connection with addiction and how it affects others and how it affects the people you love. So that was a really frustrating read. I read Addicted to You, Addicted for You, Ricochet, and Addicted for Now. And I have the next one, Rosa's book, and I'm waiting to get into it, but those were definitely frustrating and really hard to read because I just wanted the characters to get better. But like, I know that's not how it works. The best adaptation of the year, I guess Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't really watch that much TV unless it's like with my boyfriend, and I tend to stray away from adaptations, but Daisy Jones and the Six was like so good, it made me sob. The longest book I read this year. Let me do some research, hold on. So the longest book that I read this year was Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. It was 937 pages and it was worth every page. I devoured those books. For how long they were, I really ate it up and I read them fast. I really liked them though. I thought that they were very, very well done and they just hit such a mark for me. I loved it. The shortest book I read this year. The shortest book I read this year was We the Animals. I read it for class in my literature and film class, and then we watched the movie. That book is sad. That book is so sad. For how short it is, that packed a punch. It was really good. A favorite cover of the year. I really like the cover of My Roommate is a Vampire. It's like white and pink and it's just like so pretty. And I think that that cover really is what drew me to it in the first place. It's really eye-catching and I can't wait to see what else that author has to put out because that book was so good. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. I haven't stopped thinking about Divine Rivals, and I think it's literally just because I need more, and I know the next one comes out in a few weeks, so I think Divine Rivals would have to be my answer. But the other one is Pucking Around. It's My Roman Empire. I think about it every day, which says a lot. That book is so good. Please read it. The cringiest book you read this year. I literally have no sense of cringy. Like, I think nothing is cringy. I mean, low-key Losers Part 2. At the end, something happens, like a sexual thing happens, and not for me, y'all. Not for me. But I guess I don't shame. It's pretty cringy though. I wouldn't do that. If you know, you know. An unpopular book that you loved. I loved Heartless Heathens by Santana Knox. I haven't seen too many people talk about those books. I've seen them talk about it in like some dark romance accounts, but it's like a weird reverse harem, like dystopian reverse harem. It's definitely not for everybody and it's super dark, but I loved it. What was the highest and lowest rated books you read on Goodreads, and do you agree? Oh, like, I'm gonna skip that question because I don't have the energy to go through and see like people's reviews. I will say though, I recently read Abandoned Prayers by Greg Olson, and the reviews were so bad for it and I thought it was so good. I rated it 4 stars, but from what I read in the reviews on Goodreads, people just didn't like it, so that could be an answer. Number 18 is Fave Quote of the Year. I really don't like pay attention to quotes, which is like, maybe I should. I recently tabbed something in a book that was a quote I liked, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm gonna have to skip that one too. Maybe it was in Tempt Our Fate. Maybe. If I can figure it out, I'll put it on the screen, but I don't annotate and I don't remember quotes, so that's kind of like a bookish red flag. A book with the most unique concept? I definitely think Heartless Heathens. That book had such a unique concept. It was like a dystopian thing in America where there's no separation from the church and state, and the church just like runs the world, like the Catholic Church, and it's like kind of like anti-religious. And it's just super edgy, and some of the things that happen in it is crazy. So definitely most unique read is Heartless Heathens. A book you read that you would reread. Pucking Around. I literally like can't stop talking about it. But if it wasn't Pucking Around, it would be The Words. and also The Choice, which is the like sequel, and I know no, it's a prequel, and I know the sequel to the prequel, which is a sequel to The Words, comes out next year. I think the release date is in May, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. Reading goal reflection and my 2024 reading goal. So I really wanted to read 100 books, and like I think I thought that it would be easier than it actually was. I got to, as of right now, I'm filming this the 12th, I got to 76 books. Hopefully I can get to 80, but I don't know. Honestly, a reading goal doesn't really matter to me because that kind of like takes the fun out of it. So I think that for next year, I think I'm gonna set my goal a little lower. Like I think I'm gonna set it for 50 and then see what it's like midway through the year and then change it. I cannot believe some of the people who have read upwards of 200 books though. Like, it's amazing. I want to do that, but I just can't, I guess. I guess this kind of goes in with the last question. It's after 2023 reading, what are you prioritizing 2024 reading wise? And I think it's to not put as much pressure on myself to meet these goals and to not compare myself to other influencers or other people online who are reading. I just want to do my thing. That was so fun. What a good tag. I don't know who made it. I think Destiny made it, but I loved it. It was so fun, and it made me really think about 2023 as a whole, and I remember all of these books, and I remember reading them, and I remember having them at what certain point of time my life was at, and I thought that's just so magical. So fun. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I'll talk to you tomorrow, actually. Bye!